Have you ever stopped to ponder why fear is such a universal experience? Fear, an emotion as old as humanity itself, is a constant companion in our lives. It has been an integral part of our survival, shaping our responses to threats and danger since the dawn of time. This primal emotion is not merely confined to our physical well-being. It permeates through every facet of our existence. Fear can be an anticipatory response to an upcoming job interview, an intense reaction to a horror movie, or a lingering anxiety about the unknown future. Its universality is a testament to its deep-rooted presence in our collective psyche. Despite its ubiquitous nature, fear is a deeply personal experience, varying greatly from person to person. What might merely be an inconvenience for one could be the source of paralyzing fear for another. It's this subjective nature of fear that makes it a fascinating topic of study. Our understanding of fear has evolved over the centuries, moving beyond the realm of mere survival instincts to encompass complex psychological and philosophical dimensions. Philosophers, psychologists, thinkers, and scholars have explored the concept of fear, providing fascinating insights into its nature, triggers, and management. In this video, we'll delve into the intricate world of fear. We'll explore its origins, its role in our survival, and its influence on our behavior. We'll delve into the wisdom of great philosophers, who through their profound understanding of human nature, have offered valuable advice on managing fear. From the Stoic teachings of Epictetus to Nietzsche's concept of amor fati, or love of fate, and Susan Jeffers' modern perspective on embracing fear, we'll explore a range of philosophical and psychological insights on fear. This journey is not just about understanding fear, it's about learning to manage it, to harness its energy for our growth, and to transform it from an obstacle into a catalyst for change. As we navigate through this exploration, we'll discover that mastering fear is not about eliminating it, but about understanding and managing it, thereby unlocking our full potential. Let's embark on this journey to unravel the mysteries of fear. So, what exactly is fear? Fear is an emotional response triggered by the perception of an immediate threat. It is a fundamental survival mechanism that has served us since the dawn of humanity, alerting us to dangers and preparing our bodies for either fight or flight. Fear begins in the brain and spreads through the body to make adjustments for the best defense or escape. It's like an internal alarm system, alerting us to danger and preparing us for action. However, fear doesn't only arise in response to genuine threats to our survival. It can also be triggered by imagined dangers, causing just as much stress and anxiety as real ones. Fear is not merely an isolated feeling, but a complex interplay of our mind and body. It engages our senses, heightens our awareness, accelerates our pulse, and prepares our muscles for immediate action. It is the brain's way of protecting us, preparing us to react to danger, yet it can also paralyze us, preventing us from moving forward and achieving our goals. Fear can be both protective and paralyzing. It can keep us safe from danger, but it can also hold us back from taking risks and pursuing opportunities. Fear can be a healthy response to threat, but when fear becomes chronic or disproportionate to the situation, it can lead to anxiety disorders and other mental health issues. The understanding of fear is not only limited to its physiological aspects. Fear also has profound psychological and philosophical dimensions. It has been a subject of interest for philosophers, psychologists, and thinkers throughout history who have offered various perspectives on fear, its origins, and how to manage it. Understanding fear is the first step to overcoming it. It allows us to recognize our triggers, understand our reactions, and develop strategies to manage fear effectively. It's about understanding that fear is not always indicative of actual danger and learning to differentiate between protective fear and paralyzing fear. Fear, in its essence, is a complex interplay of our mind and body. And understanding this interplay is the key to mastering fear, transforming it from an obstacle into a tool for personal growth and self-improvement. Fear is not a new phenomenon. It has been with us through the ages. Like an ancient, persistent shadow, fear has followed humanity since its dawn. It has taken many forms and worn many masks, reflecting the unique challenges and threats of each era and culture. In the primitive times, fear was a primal response to physical threats like predatory animals or natural disasters. It was a survival mechanism, an alarm system that propelled our ancestors to either fight, flee, or freeze. This primordial fear was raw, visceral, and immediate, a stark contrast to the more abstract fears of the modern world. As civilizations evolved, so did our fears. They became less about immediate survival and more about social and existential concerns. The Greeks, for example, feared the wrath of the gods and the uncertainty of fate. This fear was deeply intertwined with reverence and respect, a complex blend of awe and dread that permeated their mythology and culture. In the Middle Ages, fear took a religious turn. The fear of divine judgment, hellfire, and eternal damnation were potent motivators for piety and obedience. Fear was used as a tool of control, a way to maintain social order and adherence to religious doctrines. The Enlightenment brought a shift in the perception of fear. Philosophers and thinkers began to grapple with the concept of fear, trying to understand its nature and effects on the human psyche. They explored fear not just as an emotion, but as a philosophical concept, a psychological phenomenon, and a socio-political tool. In the modern era, our fears have become even more complex and nuanced. We fear failure, rejection, loneliness, and the unknown. We grapple with existential fears about the meaning of life and the inevitability of death. We also face new fears brought on by technology, globalization, and the rapid pace of change. Fear, as we see, has been a constant companion of mankind. It has evolved with us, reflecting our changing environments, societies, and understanding of the world. But despite its persistence, we have also learned to understand, manage, and sometimes even embrace our fears, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human spirit. Several philosophers have offered their wisdom on fear and its management. And today, we delve into the teachings of two such profound thinkers, Epictetus and Friedrich Nietzsche. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught that to understand fear, we must differentiate between what is within our control and what is not. He believed that fear often arises from our reaction to external events, rather than the events themselves. He posited that by accepting events beyond our control and focusing on shaping our responses, we could manage fear effectively. This approach emphasizes resilience, a kind of mental toughness that enables us to maintain equanimity amidst fear-inducing situations. Next, we turn to the insights of Friedrich Nietzsche, who proposed a unique approach to fear. His philosophy of amor fati, or love of fate, urges us to accept and indeed embrace all aspects of life, including our fears. According to Nietzsche, fear is not an obstacle, but a catalyst for personal growth and self-realization. This perspective encourages a shift in our understanding of fear, from a barrier to be overcome to a transformative force that can empower us. But philosophy is not confined to the annals of history. Modern psychologists have built upon these foundational ideas, further enhancing our understanding of fear. One such psychologist, Susan Jeffers, popularized the concept, feel the fear and do it anyway. This approach urges us to acknowledge fear as a natural part of life and reframe it as a signal for growth and opportunity. Jeffers emphasizes the importance of courage and resilience in the face of fear, encouraging us to take action despite our apprehensions. So, what can we glean from these philosophical insights on fear? Epictetus teaches us the importance of rationality and acceptance in managing fear, while Nietzsche encourages us to embrace fear as a catalyst for growth. Meanwhile, Jeffers' approach underscores the significance of courage and resilience in the face of fear. These teachings suggest that fear, though often perceived as a negative emotion, can be reframed as a guide, a motivator, and an opportunity for personal growth. By confronting our fears with rationality, embracing life's challenges, and taking decisive action, we can transcend the limitations imposed by fear and unlock our full potential. From the ancient wisdom of Epictetus to the modern insights of Nietzsche and Jeffers, the journey to understanding and managing fear is one of introspection, courage, and empowerment. And in this journey, we find the keys to unlocking our full potential and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. Their wisdom provides a different perspective on fear, doesn't it? Each of these philosophers, in their unique way, pushes us to view fear not as the debilitating force, but as a stepping stone towards growth and self-realization. In contemporary times, psychologists have further explored fear. Among them, Susan Jeffers, a renowned psychologist and author, brought a fresh perspective to the table with her groundbreaking concept, feel the fear and do it anyway. Jeffers challenged traditional notions of fear, arguing that it's not something to be merely overcome or avoided, but rather it should be acknowledged and embraced. According to Jeffers, fear is not the enemy. It's a natural part of life, a universal experience that binds us all. More importantly, it's an indicator of growth. When we step out of our comfort zones, when we venture into unknown territories, that's when fear strikes. But that's also when we grow the most, both personally and professionally. Jeffers' philosophy encourages us to face our fears head-on, not with a sense of dread, but with an attitude of acceptance. She argues that by doing the things we fear, we can dismantle the power it holds over us. The fear may not completely disappear, but our relationship with it changes. We no longer view it as an insurmountable obstacle, but as a stepping stone to greater heights. This perspective is echoed in modern psychology. Today, fear is seen less as a barrier and more as a signal for growth and opportunity. Every moment of fear is a chance to learn, to adapt, and to evolve. It's a call to action, nudging us to push our boundaries and expand our horizons. Of course, this doesn't mean that fear is always easy to handle. It can be daunting, overwhelming even. But the key lies in reframing our perception of fear. Instead of viewing it as a threat, we can choose to see it as a challenge. Instead of letting it paralyze us, we can use it to propel us forward. As we navigate through life, we'll inevitably encounter fear. But remember, fear isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that we're stretching ourselves, that we're venturing beyond the familiar, that we're daring to explore new possibilities. And that, in itself, is a testament to our strength and resilience. Modern psychology encourages us to reframe our perception of fear. So, how can we master fear? This question brings us to the crux of our discussion. We've journeyed together through the psychological landscape of fear, exploring its triggers, and gleaning wisdom from great philosophers on its management. Now we stand on the precipice of understanding, ready to conquer our fears and embrace personal growth. Remember the teachings of Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who urged us to distinguish between what's within our control and what's not. His wisdom reminds us that our reactions to fear are within our control, encouraging us to foster resilience and maintain calm in the face of adversity. Consider also Nietzsche's perspective, his concept of amor fati, or the love of fate. This philosophy invites us to embrace fear as an essential part of life, a catalyst for personal growth and self-realization. It prompts us to view fear not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone towards transformation and empowerment. Then we have Susan Jeffers' modern insight, feel the fear and do it anyway, a rallying cry for courage and resilience. Jeffers advocates for seeing fear as a signal for growth and opportunity, urging us to take action, despite our apprehensions. These philosophies guide us towards mastering fear, not by avoiding or suppressing it, but by confronting it head-on. They teach us that fear, when understood and managed, can become a powerful tool for personal growth. Embrace the challenges that evoke fear. Use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and empower yourself. By doing so, we can transcend the limitations imposed by fear and unlock our full potential. We can take decisive action, foster resilience, and cultivate a mindset of growth and empowerment. This journey to mastering fear is a journey towards our best selves. Fear, when understood and managed, can become a catalyst for transformation and empowerment. So let's muster our courage, face our fears, and embrace the growth that comes with it.